This marked the beginning of a harrowing journey, one that would claim the lives of most who dared to take it. The team disembarked from the train, drawn by what appeared to be the impossible, the fleeting glimpse of a unicorn in the distance. Disheartened, the team returned to the train. What they thought was a unicorn had been nothing more than a cruel trick of the light. One member, driven by personal motives, brought the train to an abrupt halt, leaving the rest of the team with no choice but to wait in uneasy silence. It would be the first of many utterly pointless and baffling decisions, a pattern that would come to define the team's journey. After hours of tense silence, the night shattered as the werewolves finally appeared. They fought fiercely and claimed victory. Morning came and the team looted their first house. Ahead lay the first town, a beacon of hope on their journey. But little did the team know their arrival would mark the beginning of even greater peril. At first, the team seemed to manage the hordes of zombies. But soon enough, everything would change. One by one, the team began to fall, their hopes unraveling in the face of an unknown terror. They spent the night in agonizing pain, clinging to what little hope remained until their equestrian friend arrived. By this point, it was undeniable. One figure had emerged as the team's natural leader, guiding them through the chaos. The equestrian leader provided medical attention to everyone. The team spent the entire day coming in and out of houses, empty-handed, when the vampires began to appear. Despite the driver's disorganized chaos, constantly starting and stopping the train, the team somehow managed to survive. Except for him. Fortunately, the team was nearing the outpost. There's something truly special about witnessing team members who genuinely care for one another. Their kind and wise equestrian leader knew the true meaning of fairness, always guiding with a steady hoof. However, not all was harmonious. One team member, consumed by anger, accused the leader of greed, challenging the very foundation of their unity. Another member stepped up, defending their equestrian leader against the accusations. The issue was settled, and the train rumbled back to life. They arrived at the fort ready for the raid, but once again, their lack of coordination became painfully clear. In the heat of the moment, one team member panicked, choosing to drive away in a desperate bid to protect his own life. The pressure from his teammates finally made him to stop. At dawn, with no vampires in sight, the team gathered what little courage they had left and began the long walk back to the fort, determined to finish what they started. As soon as they arrived, they were already falling. Despite their brave efforts and carefully crafted plans, they found themselves once again wounded and writhing in agony. Their pony leader came to the rescue again. It was a grueling ordeal for the team. but against all odds, they made it out. Still recovering from their wounds, the team was caught off guard as night fell, and the werewolves returned, hungry for the blood of the weary. 2 from the remaining 4 members fell first, and then a third went down. Morning came, and with it the grim aftermath. The horrors of the night were now painfully clear. For the first time, the camera crew was forced to intervene, rushing in to administer emergency aid to the wounded equestrian leader. At long last, the equestrian leader revealed his true color, brown. It may be hard to believe, but they spent the entire day welding and unwelding everything in sight, including each other. And naturally, as chaos reigned, night fell once more. Their relentless urge to act without purpose once again backfired, leaving them to face the fallout of their own confusion. A new day dawned, and with it the undying hope of doing even more nonsense. The brown equestrian leader welded the boys and everything else onto the train, and so began the endless cycle of welding and unwelding. The patient equestrian brown pony leader had enough patience for everyone. But the boys were determined to consume every last drop of his equestrian patience. Is it any wonder that they spent another whole day this way? Of course, it got dark again. The kind equestrian leader, having finally run out of patience, lashed out at his increasingly useless companions, the burden of leadership becoming too much to bear. The leader, resolute in his decision to leave the boy behind, experienced a sudden change of heart, and it cost him his life. They argued all night and in the morning. Despite their severe wounds and the absence of life in their eyes, they began to lash out at each other, fighting with the ferocity of the most vicious of females. At one point, they stumbled into a bizarre, yet strangely beautiful dance, an endless swirl of chaos that seemed to stretch on forever. The dance went on until the night. Eventually, they swallowed their pride and asked for medical assistance from the camera crew. They somehow managed to spend another day doing nothing. The boys finally decided to do something other than nothing and left his equestrian leader behind. One of the boys jumped off the train to die again. The driver seemed consumed by a dangerous obsession, determined to bring an end to everyone, including himself. He chose the easy way out, demanding others to follow him to the grave, and then demanding to be revived. The loud, demanding boy, unwilling to wait for the pony leader or his other useless teammate, took matters into his own hands and drove the train toward the next outpost. The train, however, was in desperate need of repairs and had to be taken to the next outpost. Despite being abandoned by the boys, the kind equestrian brown pony leader was still alive, steadfast in his resolve to help them continue their journey. As the camera crew approached the bridge to Mexico, one of the boys broke away from the group, declaring he'd had enough and stormed off to yell at his mother. And just as the camera crew neared the bridge to Mexico, the other boy chose that exact moment to disconnect from the game, right before what would have been his very first time crossing into Mexico. What began as a journey with 6 brave souls had come to its solemn end. Only 2 remained, the noble equestrian warrior and the steadfast cameraman who captured it all.